to lose a job. Imagine you study your whole life, you get to this job, and they're like, ugh, you're a B-type blood? Ugh, we don't want that. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Korea Unfiltered. So as you can see, your girl has moved studio.
A little bit different.
It's a little different out here, you know. I don't know if it's an upgrade or a downgrade. I don't know what's going on. But I'll tell you guys later on why I ended up switching studios. But this will be... I can't speak no more. This will be season 2 of Korea Unfiltered. We're starting anew in 2024. And because we're starting anew, I have a new guest. So today's guest is Alex.
Hello.
Say hi, Alex. Do you want to introduce yourself to the people down?
Sure. So my name's Alexander. I'm from France and I'm living in Seoul, where I am modeling.
He's a model.
A modèle. Oui, oui, oui.
So it's funny because when I first started my podcast, you were my first guest.
Yes.
He was basically my test rabbit.
Yes.
And
literally the test drive.
He was the test rabbit because nothing worked that day. It was just a mess, and I was like, Alex, I have to delete that whole episode. So it's funny that now in the new studio, he's actually my first guest again.
Yeah, and I might be the test drive again.
Don't say that, please. We can't afford to erase this.
Crash number 2.
I can't afford to erase this episode. Oh my god, no. We can't do that. But let me tell you guys how I met Alex. I met Alex in 2017, right?
Yeah.
Was it 2018? No, 2017. So I met Alex in 2017 when I was actually studying in Yonsei University, and I ended up getting a shoot. Super random, like it was a very random shoot. And I got there, and the person that I was working with was Alex at that time. Do you still remember that shoot?
Yes, I do. But the thing is, it was random for me too.
Oh, was it?
Kind of, because at that time I was working in an office.
Oh, yeah.
So I was, that's another story. The lady. Just I was modeling like kind of as more like a hobby at the time, not full time as I am now. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember, I got this offer for sunglasses shoot.
Oh yeah, it was a
sunglasses shoot.
Yeah.
The pictures were really artistic.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was not bad. It was not bad. It's just like very, not just like a white background. There was smoke and stuff like that.
I remember being like, this concept is interesting.
Yeah, there was like purple light with smoke.
And then remember we had like a shoot on the bed or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know this man. Like, why am I laying up on this bed with this man? I don't know you.
And I know you're the kind of girl who gets kind of uncomfortable when a dude starts touching. I was not.
Yeah, he wasn't all up like
No.
or anything like that. But I am the type of girl. I don't like being touched.
Yeah.
Like, leave me alone. But I think from that encounter, like we ended up becoming friends.
No.
We actually, yeah.
We didn't.
That's not how we became friends.
We walked back to the station or something.
Yes, we
Chat.
exchanged contacts.
Yeah.
And then I left because I had to go back to the States and graduate and whatnot. And then
I left.
Alex left and I came back.
Yeah.
So we kind of exchanged.
Yeah.
And then when you came back, that's
when
when we picked up from where we left off. And then
So like moved to Australia, moved to France, then came back.
Yeah.
And just before moving back, I messaged you and you were like, yeah, well, I'm still there.
Yeah.
And then we had a brunch.
Yeah.
And then
brunch is how we became close.
yeah, and then we started meeting like once a week.
Yeah, now
so,
we're like cafe besties.
Yeah. So when we need to go on a cafe date.
It's always me and Alex. Like if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably see Alex on my Instagram so much. People literally think
Vice
you're
versa.
my man, and I'm just like, no, he's not my man.
Yeah.
We're just like really, like we're like, we're very
Or sometimes it's funny because you will be posting like pictures, and a few days after I post the exact same pictures, but it's me instead of Paris. So it's kind of fun.
Exactly. Because that's like one thing we do. We take pictures every single place.
Yeah, and we know how to take pictures of each other. So
sometimes I hang out with some of my friends. I'm not calling y'all out by name, but some of y'all don't know how to take pictures. They take the picture and I'm like, just give me my phone. I'm okay.
I'll go back with Alex.
Yeah, I'll come back here later on. I'm just like, just give me my phone. How long have you been in Korea in general?
So all together, about 5.5 years.
5.5 years, yeah.
I was here from June 2016 to December 2018, which is about 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And I came back March of 2021. So it's going to be... So I decided to come back because of COVID in France. The way we had to deal with COVID in France was way stricter than Korea.
Yeah.
And it was just like lockdown, can't go out. You need to like make some paperwork just to go out, do your groceries.
I remember like reading on the news what you guys were going through, and I was like, you know what, Korea's handling this very well.
So 3 months lockdown. 3 months is a long time
To be
living
stuck in
in,
the house.
yeah. And Paris, like the houses are not that big,
Right.
and you pay a lot of rent, and nothing is really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I was lucky, because in France most of the jobs were kept by the companies, like the government was pushing the companies to keep the jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was no like massive firings and stuff like this.
Yeah, understood.
So I was still getting my full my full salary, even if we were working less and we were working from home doing some remote stuff.
Right.
Even if I was working for Gucci at the time, so I was working in a store initially, and then we had to do sales over the phone from home to people who were at home, sometimes grieving because one of their friends or family died.
And they were shopping on Gucci?
No, the thing is, okay, the way the companies in France were dealing with it was not always sensitive towards customers. So they asked us, okay, not the first few weeks, not the first month, but after a while,
Yeah, like
they were
call
like,
the VIPs
yes,
or whatever,
call the VIPs, call the clients that have the money, and ask them how they are, if they want to purchase online, I mean,
Yeah.
distant, remotely, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I didn't have this specific case, but some of my coworkers called people. One was like, what the are you doing? I'm in the hospital.
Oh.
My husband is being hospitalized because of COVID.
They're calling
Like, why are you calling me?
Gucci
It's not
bag.
important. Yeah, so kind of insensitive.
Yeah.
So after that,
You ended up coming back.
yeah, coming
so
back.
how long have you been?
Back
Yeah.
since March 2021.
21. And
Yeah.
would you say you like have a sense of how Korea is like
Yeah, definitely. And how it changed too.
and how it's changed?
Yeah.
So zooming into the question,
Ta-da!
what is the biggest hardship that you think you face in Korea?
Well, I think I'm kind of lucky. The thing is, the negative thing is also the positive thing. For me,
It works
the hardship I have is being a foreigner, is that you are never really part of
culture?
the culture, of the
Yeah.
society,
Yeah.
and that you will always be treated differently.
Of
But
course. Yeah.
in a really strong way. Like in France, if you're a foreigner and you live and you adapt yourself to the country and you stay for a while, you get married, you got kids, blah, 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 whatever. Or even if you stay 10 years and just
They just
work, blah, blah,
accept you into
you
society.
become French.
Yeah.
You become French. A lot of people are going to say like, no, France, blah, blah, blah. Okay. No, because you're going to get those racist comments because there's racist people, there's people who are like
People
pure
are
France, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here, I feel like I know people who've been living here for 20, 30 years, who've got kids, mixed kids,
Yeah.
and they'll always be foreigners.
Yeah.
Always.
You always
It's like,
wanna be a-
it's not even like you are immigrant or whatever. It's like you're a foreigner.
Yeah.
Even if you decide to do the
Change of nationality. Yeah.
naturalization and stuff like this, you'll always be different. You'll always be treated differently.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that for me makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, knowing that I'm from a mixed culture too. Like my mom's half English, half Australian, and she lives in France. Even if it's still kind of Europe,
Yeah.
it's still like,
Still
I
different
feel like
culture.
my mom is a foreigner initially
Yeah,
in
in
France,
France,
and she got integrated to the society.
Right.
But if I want to do this here, I feel
You're
like
still gonna be a foreigner.
I'll always be a foreigner. I'll never be treated the same.
Same. Yeah.
And it's not just because of physical
It's
differences, but it's
It's
just
everything.
yeah, it's everything.
I know what you mean.
so
yeah.
I feel like for me I'm treated better because I'm a foreigner, but I'm also
I'm just kidding.
I'm also treated differently and also like in a negative way because I'm a foreigner.
Yeah.
I'm okay, this is cliche, but I'm white, I'm tall, blonde, blue eyes.
You're a model.
And I'm a model.
There
So
you go.
obviously I get preferential treatment for a lot of things.
Yeah.
For a lot of things. Like when I go to a job, like it's always like, oh, you're so handsome, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
thank
basically
you.
like that, you know,
But-
pretty privileged.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
privileged.
pretty privileged,
And the other thing is when it comes to more of a society thing or like administrative thing or insurance, health, blah, blah, blah. It's immediately, it's like, you're with the rest of the
Oh
pack.
yeah, you're with all of them.
Yeah,
We
and
don't want them.
yeah,
It's
sure.
literally like that. I feel like I definitely understand where you're coming from, because I think that was a shock for me the first year that I came, because as I'm American, right? I'm Kenyan first though, but as an American, ooh, I hate saying that.
Yes.
As an American, sounds so weird. But as somebody who's lived like most of my life in America, it's a lot of races around me, right? And then coming to Korea, where there's not a lot of races around me. It's a lot of Koreans. But because I knew Korean, I thought I understood Korean culture. I thought I would be accepted in some way, because I was very, you like bend and snap for the culture, to understand the culture. You're like, you try to be the best version of yourself when you leave your country to go to somebody else's country, right?
Most people.
Yeah, most people, definitely most people. But because I was like, I'm trying to be this good person where I'm like showing you guys I respect the culture, but you're still not accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that
I was like,
it's kind of a frustration, and it kind of hurts too, because you are trying your best all the time, and you have to try your best, because if you don't, you're getting even worse treatment.
Yeah, and it's also like, if you don't try hard, why are you here?
Exactly.
You know?
Like, to go back to my mom, who's a foreigner in France, she lives in the countryside, and there's a small community of British people that have bought a lot of houses nearby. My mom speaks perfect French. She's been living in France since before I was born, which is a while ago.
Oh, I'm just kidding. You're not old. Stop saying it like people are going to be like,
No, it's a while. It's a while.
It's a while for me.
And she has tried her best all her life to integrate to the French culture. It's not like massively different from England, but she speaks French.
Right.
However, that community that built next to my mom's place only speaks English, and they all do things within the community.
They don't want to leave that community.
That's the thing. So they have to go do groceries, but when they do groceries, they don't have to talk to people. But when they have to do like services like plumbers or stuff like this, they actually ask people from the community. So it's like a small circle. So I
Like a
feel
little country
exactly.
in the country.
So I know that in Korea, there's some foreigners that like to live within their
community,
So I'm just going to take the American example because there's more Americans in general. But like American people tend to have a lot of American friends. So they will live in this community. French people will tend to know French other people because a lot of people will try to have that as a support if there's
system, completely understandable.
which I have not done. Like I moved to Korea knowing, like first when I came for holidays, and I came for about 3 weeks knowing no one, knowing not a word of Korean, nothing. And I just like was...
That sounds terrifying.
It was terrifying, but it was the best experience I ever lived.
Yeah.
Proof is, when I went back home, I had made a lot of friends, a lot of new contacts. I went back home, and for 1 year, I was like, I want to go back. I want to go back.
I like Korea more than this place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not a K-pop fan. I'm not a K-drama fan. I don't have this kind of... It's not like, I don't see myself being friends with BTS or like living in the fantasy of like the romance and blah, blah. I was just like really...
Very realistic.
Exactly. And I really liked the way things were going. So I dropped everything. I broke up. I left my apartment. I quit my job, even if they offered me promotion to stay. And I was like, no. I decided I want to leave. I want to live in Korea to try. And I did. I don't regret. But I didn't want to do that thing where I live only with French people. So when I moved, I knew no foreigners. Then I knew foreigners from when I had jobs.
Oh, like me.
Yeah, like you.
Job, yeah.
And then I slightly built, but even now, I would say I have more Korean friends than foreign friends. The foreign friends I have are people who also have done their best to integrate the community. Like you, like one of my really good friends, she's Chinese and she's been studying here. She speaks fluent English and fluent Korean. Like, it's all people who have tried their best. So I think I like to be with people who have lived the same experience and that have the same hardship of trying our best to integrate, even if we know we can't. My friend who's Chinese, same. She looks more, she's Asian, so she looks more the part as us, but she will also always be a foreigner, which is the thing I think is the hardest for most of us.
Yeah, I think everybody gets that shock when they first come
Yeah.
here, when they're just like, oh, I thought it would be different. But I think for me and you, when you just start living in reality, where you realize it's okay not to be accepted, you know,
Yeah.
it's okay to just have foreign friends. I don't know about that part. You should at least try to make friends with some Koreans.
Yeah, no. If you go to a country, it's like
don't only surround yourself with foreigners. But I do also understand the part where it's hard to make Korean friends because they're very giddy, like they like sticking with themselves.
I mean, I think it's easy to make Korean friends, but it's not easy to make a deep friendship in Korea.
That part.
Because like
that part.
I do have one of my good friends here that I've known since 2015 when I first came on a trip.
Yeah.
I first met him. We're still friends. I know his parents. I know his sister. I went to his sister's wedding, and like we're like brothers. Yeah, I have really close friends.
Yeah.
But I met him doing a fashion show, and he was really interested in me. At that time, there was less foreigners. Back in 2015, there was less foreigners in Korea all over. Right. And he was like, oh, he didn't speak a word of English, which was really funny. We only talk with Papago and like translation apps.
Yeah.
And he was really, really nice and really interested in me and genuine and everything. So we're still friends. But I've had a lot of people that I've met and they're like, oh, let's be friends.
My favorite when I meet like a new Korean, let me just say a new Korean person, and like we're vibing or I work with them or something. What is going on in this room? I hope you guys don't hear that drilling. But I work with them and they're like, 또 보자, 다음에 커피 같이 마시자, right?
Bye-bye.
That's basically,
Sayonara.
I'm never gonna see you again.
Yeah.
That's basically, we're never gonna meet after this.
Yeah.
But let me act like we're gonna meet, which I don't understand why people do that here, because we don't have to meet again.
I think it's like some kind of form of politeness. I think it's more like in the culture of like saying like,
see you next
yeah,
time,
I think it's just like a form, like a form of speech, like you know what I mean?
It happens so much. Like in the beginning, it used to be like it used to happen to the point that I'm like, oh my god,
I'm gonna have so many friends.
I just made a new friend, and then 2 weeks pass, nothing.
Yeah.
3 weeks pass, nothing. And now it's to the point where I started doing it.
You assimilated too much.
When I meet someone and I'm just like, these vibes are not vibing, I'm like,
bye bye, see you soon.
I'll send you a message on Kakao Talk, let's have coffee together, and then I never hit them up. So
I think it's just a form of politeness.
Yeah. I guess it is because I started doing it too.
Yeah.
And in my head, I know I'm never going to see this person again, but it is what it is.
It was what it is.
It is what it is.
But
I do want to point one thing out. Like us, I think you saying that, you know, you not being accepted into the culture, I think you also know it's not really a you thing. It's just a culture.
I don't know. I know it's a me thing. It's just, I know
it's not a you thing.
It's not. It's not.
You were like, I know it's a me thing. I'm like,
no. Sorry. I know it's not a me thing.
Yeah.
What I mean is, it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
I do not right now think I should be 100% accepted in the culture.
Yeah.
I've only been here for a few years. I'm just frustrated to know that if I decide to stay in Korea for disgusting shit.
I hate you for pointing that out. Like I really hate
I'm French. No, but what I mean is I know that even if I stay here and I live here for another 10, 20, 30 years, I will still be a foreigner, even if, okay, my Korean is not good enough to be treated as a Korean, but we get all the same disadvantages as Korean citizens, but we don't get the advantages of Korean citizens. We pay insurance more than Korean citizens. And we have to pay every year extra because of old Korean people that retire. Every year you receive a letter saying it's been increased by 2% because of old people. And they say it's because there's more old people, so we have to compensate the fact that there's less people working. And you have to pay more for. I mean, I get it. We do the same in France. We do. But here it's frustrating because we will never see this money. Oh, yeah. We will never. We will not be retiring in Korea. If we do, I don't know how it works. Yeah. Because I don't think that many people who are foreigners have experienced retiring in Korea.
A lot of people come here and then leave to go to their country.
Yeah, because It's more comfortable. And for example, France, there's a, how do you say that?
Pension?
Yeah, pension system is like linked. If you earn money in Korea and you save pension in Korea, when you go back to France, it can be transferred.
Yeah.
So you don't lose much, even if like the percentage is different. But I don't know if I want to retire in Korea. Maybe, because maybe it's more comfortable.
Right. But you're not sure right
I
now.
don't know. So for the moment,
You just looked at my ears and I realized I don't have my earrings on.
You have small ones.
No, I was supposed to have like the big ones. They're in my jacket somewhere. Dang it!
Sorry. Sorry, I'm going to point at everything.
you looked at it and I was like...
No, I was looking at your scarf.
Sure. That lady gave it to me.
It's for sale on Dangan now. Soon to be.
If you guys want this Hermes scarf, it's going to be on sale soon.
Soon.
Go on Hanggan Market, I'm selling it.
Coupon with the discount code Alex 10%.
But yeah, I completely understand. But I feel like we've completely accepted. Well, at least I have completely
Oh,
accepted. Never gonna get accepted. I'm just like, it's alright.
I mean, there's other things that me on the side make me feel a bit more frustrated.
Oh, really? Oh,
Well-
no, we can't talk about that.
Oops.
We're gonna skip over
Skip that. But it's another
the
thing.
day you're comfortable to say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I completely understand. Now that we've gone over the
Hardships.
what have been like, your best memories in Korea?
I mean, I've had a lot of great memories. Like meeting people. Just the first time I visited Korea, I really felt like it was. So, I mean, I don't know, the term I'm using is exotic.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about parrots in the trees and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Exotic because it was so different for me. I had traveled a bit before. I had been to Thailand, which is really exotic. I had been to Australia, which is really exotic. But Korea was really different for me. And so I was like amazed. As I said, I have no interest in K-pop, no interest in K-drama.
Is it because
No.
And then I remembered he just said
No.
he never watched
It's
K-drama.
no, like I watched like 2 or 3 K-dramas.
I literally remember being like, "Oh, Alex, did you watch this drama?" He's like,
What?
"Interesting. That drama."
When people are like, "Oh my God, this guy is so handsome. Do you know who he is?" I'm like, "No." Oh,
Or,
this
like,
actress
you end
is
up
so.
working with someone, right? And you're just like, I don't know who that
Like
is.
I like when exactly. I had this was a good experience. Like I had this shoot for a commercial, and it was for an investment company or whatever.
With
John Zion.
Yeah, John Zion.
And they tell me like, "Oh, so today on set there's gonna be John Zion," and everybody's like, "Wow, John Zion! Oh my God, amazing!"
She's like a top actor.
She's like the number one when it comes.
Mula.
And I was like, "Huh?
Alex is just there in his foreignness.
Who's-
Who is that?
Who's John Zion?" Like,
We don't know John Zion.
like I know no one. Like you can tell me the name of the main actor from Squid Games or whatever. I'm like, huh?
And obviously, this is not him trying to like disrespect.
Oh no, not at all.
Everybody just has different interests.
Yeah,
And for him, it's not K-drama.
It's not Kate. I mean, I loved The Glory. I loved Squid Games. But I'm kind of specific in what I like. I'm not really interested in romance, blah, blah, blah.
Girl,
I'm
you
not.
can't find me there either. But you're not gonna find me in no romance.
Yeah.
It's just like I know the ending.
Yeah, I know what's gonna happen. But when I watch Squid Game, when I watch The Glory, I'm like, oh, exactly. And then it's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Like, what?
And those are very rare on Netflix.
Exactly.
Very rare.
So, but one of my some of my favorite movies are Korean, like Parasite. I loved Parasite.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I loved Old Boy.
Oh, Old Boy's a good one.
Yeah.
I remember my brother
So-
being like, "You can't watch it until like I turned."
I mean, I do get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing to do with not liking the culture, whatever. It's just my interest. It's like I'm picky. I'm picky. Like, I don't really listen to. I mean, this. Like, but, sorry.
That's completely fine.
It's just like my
preference.
preferences is like I'm more into indie. I'm more in commercial music. For me, doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So
Understand.
when I go to clubs or when I go to like a store and I hear K-pop all the time, I'm not interested in listening it on my own. Like there's
Like, what's going on?
exactly there's obviously a few things I like there's a few songs I like, but the most mainstream ones, I'm like, yeah, I hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear it more.
Yeah.
It's annoying. But yeah, all over. some of the good experience I had in Korea, working with celebs. Amazing.
Especially when you find it like someone who's actually genuinely nice.
Yeah, Johnson, like the company before we arrived, they were like, do not talk to her. Do not look at her. Like really like treat her like a celeb, but like Jesus. Like do not touch, do not look.
Yeah.
You do not like do not damage.
Don't even look at her directly in the
Exactly.
eye.
And when she
look down when she's talking to you.
exactly, and when she arrived on set, she said hi to every single person. I mean, she didn't shake her hands, but she was like, "안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, hello," to every single person.
Yeah.
So really nice.
Yeah,
so
that's a very
this
nice
was
person.
really nice.
I don't know why they inflict that feeling into us. Like they should just let us see that person, and however they act will follow.
I think it's because a lot of people come to Korea for the wrong reason, which is the K fantasy, like they want to live in a K drama, they want to become a K idol, or whatever.
Yeah.
Good for those people, good for them. But they can be a little bit.
Forceful.
Yes, exactly. It's like, oh my god, I want to take a selfie. I want to take a selfie. Like,
I've seen
for
that
what?
before, and I'm
For
just
what?
Like, oh my god, you're here for work.
Exactly.
Stop.
Especially because why do you want to take a selfie with the celeb when you're shooting with them?
For sure.
You're gonna be on TV with that person.
Yeah.
You can send it to your grandma. She'll be happy. You don't need to take a selfie with her.
Yeah, yeah.
She doesn't need it. You don't need it either.
Yeah, I've seen like that situation where like the girls were going crazy for this. I'm not gonna say the person. For this person, and I was just in the back like, oh, this is embarrassing.
Oh.
I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, do you know when you get like second?
And I feel like
yeah.
for me, I have no interest in celebs in general. I do not know who they are. So my experience is better because I feel like
You're starting from a clean slate.
yeah,
You
I'm
can't be disappointed or like overly excited.
exactly. I don't get super excited. So when I meet them and I work with them, I'm like, that was super cool.
You're starting from the bottom.
Yeah,
And then you're
and
like,
I don't get disappointed either. If the person is rude, I'm like,
so be it.
exactly.
Like, I've met rude people before.
Exactly.
Yeah. What other great memories?
I mean,
do you think?
the working with celeb is good experience, but I wouldn't say it's such
The highlight.
because, as I said, I don't have much interest in it.
Yeah.
It's just like
It just happened to be your job.
exactly. And in general, I think if anybody was experiencing it, they would like it, and I appreciate. Yeah,
Is it a fun experience? Well,
for me it was.
being a drama extra is not a fun
It
experience.
is not.
It's
That's
not
why
a
I
fun
try to
experience.
not do it.
Yeah, I remember I did it twice and I was like, never
Yeah,
again.
because it kind of.
Like, there's no celebrity on this earth that would make me be a drama extra ever again. Like,
I wouldn't.
lots of the people who still do it, like, I pray for y'all, but no.
But do it for the good reasons.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
don't do it to be like near them, because
Yeah.
I feel like they also feel it when people are there to just see them instead of work. Like, and I've seen like celebrities who, this is turning into like a celebrity talk, but I've seen celebrities who avoid people because they know
Yeah.
like this person is like, oh my god, but they will come to you or me, and because they know I'm being chill about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god.
But that's why, like,
you know?
as I said earlier, I worked in Gucci.
Yeah.
I dealt
Oh,
with
you met
celebs,
with like big people.
like,
yeah.
like very, very, very
Excuse me. Yeah.
big celebs.
Yeah.
And I've worked with big celebs when I was 20-ish, like because in another brand. But I don't have interest, so it makes the relation easier. Like I'm treating them like I would treat anybody else, and those celebs feel it like it's more of a genuine relation, and it's more comfortable for them, and they appreciate it more because they feel treated like humans,
They
which
feel
are
seen.
not,
Yeah.
which they're not treated like usually.
On a daily basis. Yeah.
So anyway, that was
But yeah.
a side note for celebrity.
Conclusion, we're not trying to say we're better than anyone. We're
No.
just saying we just like treating everyone like.
I mean, I treat everybody like I made for the first time. For 20 times, I treat them like as nicely as I can. I do not know why I should treat someone not nicely,
Yeah.
because I'm
Their
just saying.
bank account is different, Alex.
Exactly.
They got millions. That's why you're supposed to treat them different.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't got millions.
Nah.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, apart from that.
Apart from that, no, I think for me, when I first came and also when I came back, one of the things I really appreciated
Yeah.
was, as I said, the same kind of thing as the hardship is being different. It could be a little bit uncomfortable at times to see that the eye is on you more than on other people, but at the same time, I felt really accepted from how to say, like a warm point of view. Like I wasn't
You
isolated.
didn't get, like, cold stares or anything.
No, I think like when I first came, there was less foreigners, and when I was just saying like 안녕하세요 or 감사합니다, like in a convenience store, they were like, oh,
Yeah, they
like
brighten
I
up
don't
and
know,
they're
it's like
super happy.
exactly, and I felt like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I felt welcome. I moved to Chilim area, which is a bit like ghetto-ish, and I used to live like. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it was really dark. It was damp. It was like meh.
It was
But like the guy from the mart next to my house was always so happy to see me. I was always like, "Oh, how are you?" Like just broken English, but it was so
He's trying his
nice.
best to, like,
And
yeah.
I felt a lot of times, a lot of people try in Korea to approach you. Sometimes I know some people it can be uncomfortable. They approach you for the wrong reasons. I have had people approaching me in really weird ways, but most of the time when people have tried approaching me, it was in a really nice, warm way, and that's something I really liked. I felt welcome. I felt like, yes, I was a foreigner, but they wanted to share something with me. Either something from Korea, like culture. Sometimes they're like, oh, you like Korean food? I'm like, yeah, I love Korean food. And then it starts a conversation.
Yeah.
Or they're like, oh, welcome to Korea. And I'm like, dude, I've been here for 3 years. I was here before for 2.5 years.
So I know everything.
But
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, thank you, because,
Yeah.
you know, he's like an old
Yeah,
man.
you're
or-
not gonna sit there and be like, yo, a bit like, it's
Yeah.
just thanks.
yeah, like thank you,
Yeah.
it's, bye-bye. Like, and it makes their day too.
Yeah,
Like,
it
it's
really
just,
does,
I have met some people randomly in cafes. Just people come talk to you for no apparent reason.
It's a
For me,
balance,
I had
yeah.
more positive experience like this. So I think one of the good things in Korea is, as a foreigner, I had a lot of interactions with people that were really warm and really nice. A few months ago, I went to COEX because I had a casting nearby, and I just wanted to eat Korean food. So I went to this shop and I ordered to the lady in Korean, and she was starting to chat to me in Korean. Oh, wow, you speak so good Korean.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And I said like, oh, thank you, but my Korean is like not very good. And I asked her, oh, is this the same store as the one in Myeongdong? Because it's a chain. And she was like, oh yeah, but it's different. Like it's blah blah blah. And she was super happy, and she was like, "Oh, come again." And
I'm surprised she didn't tell you to go to church with her.
this is one of the weird interactions.
I'm surprised she wasn't like, you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ.
I personally,
By the way, I'm Christian. So
Okay,
listen up,
and-
comments out.
personally, I do not believe in any God.
Yeah, we're so opposite here. Yeah.
But my dad is from a Catholic Christian family.
Yeah.
My mom is from a Jewish family. So when I was raised, both my parents were like, but first they married each other, so they're accepting of other religions. But they told me, we will not impose any religion on you. You're the one who, when you grow up, will decide if you want to believe in any form of God.
And you were like, no thanks.
For me, anybody. If you want to be Muslim, be Muslim. If you want to be Christian, be Christian. If you want to be Jewish, blah, 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 and so on. And I'm accepting to everybody. But I do not like to be imposed any belief, any kind of belief
It happens a
on
lot
me.
in Hongdae.
And already, in Itaewon. Girl,
You go to
like
Hongdae
in
and the
Itaewon,
lady is gonna grab you and be like,
in the station,
Yeah.
in the metro
believe in
station.
God. Which is interesting because I'm Christian, but I just feel like they do too much.
Yeah,
They do too much.
I've had some little old guys coming to me in the metro station and like, grabbing my hand and putting some jellies in my hand with a little pamphlet about Jesus, and then like, I want you to believe in Jesus. I'm like, this is going to the trash, even the jelly, because I don't know what's in the bag.
Yeah, I'm not eating something
And
from a random.
it's very suspicious and forceful. And if you want to have a conversation with me as two adults sharing, it's fine.
Don't force.
But don't force me. When you see at the metro station, exit of the metro station, people handing out
The pamphlets.
the pamphlets, even like sponges or like
They
like
do a lot
wet
of, like,
tissues
yeah, mood tissue and
with
stuff
like
like
wet
that.
wipes with like the name of their church on it.
And stuff like that.
I feel uncomfortable. This
You just gotta.
yeah, and in Itaewon, for example, because this is the area I live in, there's a lot of people who are really hardcore believers, and they will be like,
Oh, the lady who preaches by the station. That
which lady? Ladies
one. Lady,
and
yeah,
men's.
with, like, a very loud
Like there's so many, and they're like preaching, like go back to Jesus or you will die. And it's kind of scary. It's like you will die if you don't believe in Jesus. And if you're gay, you will go to hell. You're a sinner, repent, blah, blah. I'm like, how am I meant to be receptive?
In a scary way.
It's for me, it's scary. It's something that is repulsive. I don't want you to impose fear on me or to impose. If you have something positive to say to me, like, I don't know, like we are all accepted by Jesus. We are all children of, even if I don't believe it, for me, I'm more open to this kind of
positivity.
Exactly. So I'll be like, yeah, fine, bye. But if you're negative, I'm going to have negative.
It's like scary.
Yeah, and I'm going to be negatively receptive to that. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. As a Christian, I do feel like religion is very, like Christianity especially is very different in Korea. I personally don't mind the pamphlet handlers because you can just boop and not take it, but I do feel like they do spout a lot of negativity instead of positivity.
Exactly.
Like you should be positively talking about Jesus and God.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get out of this conversation.
It's good.
Let's get out of this conversation.
Let's talk politics now.
Let's talk about the current president of South Korea.
Nah, let's not. Let's not.
But yeah. Do you think if you were unattractive, it would be the same experience?
No, especially in Korea.
Being honest.
Especially in Korea.
Thank you for being honest.
Especially in Korea.
Yeah.
Korea, it's a lot about
Beauty.
the looks.
Yeah.
In Korea, people get surgeries when they graduate to get better jobs.
Oh yeah, they get it as a gift.
Yeah, like I had some people I know that graduated from uni and the parents paid for the nose job.
Yeah.
And this is not, it's not a legend, it's not.
Oh, it's very common.
They had. This is the graduation gift. Because when you are Korean, on your resume, there's two things that are really important. It's where you graduated from, the universities are ranked, and then your face. You're unattractive.
They stopped doing the pictures now. They took it out.
Yeah, but they still do it.
Probably.
They still do it.
Probably.
And
especially
even
if you come in for the interview, they're gonna see you anyway. So.
And another thing that is kind of weird is on the resume, like, I don't know if it's still a thing, but not the height, but the blood type.
Oh yeah, now it's MBTI. They changed it.
Yeah, MBTI.
Now
So
it's
before
MBTI.
it used to be blood types, and the company I worked for a while back, the HR, she would not employ B blood types. She would only do AB, A, or O. And she was,
The B's were like, we don't.
the B's, she was like, oh, it's a B type, I'll put it down on the list. Except maybe if they have like high scores or blah, blah, blah. But it was just, I think now it's MBTI, so it's about your personality and stuff. But before that, also your personality was kind of driven by your blood type. So if you were an A, you were more this. If you're a B, you're more this.
Crazy if you think about it.
I mean, it's an Asian thing in general. I know it's also a thing in Japan. It's a thing in China. It's a thing, but in Korea,
Because of your blood type is
to not be higher,
No,
because, higher
To
because
lose
of your
a
blood-
job. Imagine you study your whole life. You get to this job and they're like, ugh, you're a
Yeah,
B-type
you're
blood?
B-type.
Ugh, we don't want that.
Uh-uh.
I'd rather you just tell me I'm ugly. Just
Yeah,
tell me I'm ugly.
But yeah, to go back to your question,
Yeah.
100%.
If
If
you're-
you're
yeah.
pretty, if you're handsome, Korean or non-Korean, you
Yeah.
get a lot more from life in general. You will get better jobs. You will get more
that's
comfortable jobs.
That's true.
You will get
Better stairs.
exactly
More comfortable stairs.
You will be
Yeah.
accepted in clubs where
Facts.
other people will not. Because I mean, I know the club thing is a bit like international. Like,
Yeah.
they don't want the ugly people in the clubs.
Yeah.
But also, okay, in France too, I know that in France,
Yeah.
a lot of, I've heard about a lot
Yeah.
of Korean people who visit
France.
France, they go to restaurants and they feel like they've been put to the back of the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that a lot, actually.
So the thing is, first of all, it's not necessarily that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just you want the front to look a little bit more empty, so it's more welcoming, or you want the front a bit more full, so it looks like it's more busy. So it doesn't necessarily depend on
I
that.
thought you were going to say it. They just don't want ugly people in the
But
front.
that's it too. They will put the handsome and
The
pretty
cute people in the front.
to attract more. But I feel
Dang.
like this is a bit of a international thing too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's felt a bit more in Europe.
It's probably when people go abroad they feel it more. Probably.
But I think
Dang,
it's a
that
bit-
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do think if you have pretty privilege in Korea, your presence is going to be more accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I always think about it and I'm like, if I wasn't a model, if I wasn't tall, if I didn't fit the beauty standards in Korea, which technically I don't really fit because I'm also a black person, I'm dark skinned. So so how much can I really fit? I don't know, but I feel like if I was what they consider unattractive, how life would be different for me. I always think about
a
that.
lot. Like
right?
I live in Itaewon, which is a very mixed neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of positive things. It's like the neighborhood is more accepting. A lot of people mingle a lot more, and it's very dynamic.
Right.
But I've also heard on a weekend some Korean tourists, when I say tourists, it's coming from another neighborhood, just coming to
If you
Itaewon.
go to Itaewon and you're Korean, you're a
And
tourist.
the guy says
Yeah.
to his girlfriend, "Oh, 외국인 진짜 많다."
Oh, duh, it's Itaewon.
And I'm like, dude, like,
It's
what?
Itaewon.
Okay, this is something that cringes me a bit in Korea is the word 외국인, like foreigner.
Foreigner?
I don't in France. I would never say, "Oh, look, this guy is Asian or black or
Yeah.
Middle Eastern or whatever," and
Yeah.
I would say, "Oh, look at this foreigner,"
Yeah.
because they could be French.
Yeah.
And that's going back to the hardship of not being integrated. Is here
If you
you'll
look
all be-
different, yeah.
you'll be a foreigner. You're a foreigner. You're a foreigner. You're a
Oh
foreigner.
yeah, that's the word they use all
And
the
they
time.
use that word,
외국인.
and for me, it's a bit
Yeah.
like offensive, borderline offensive.
Isn't that why, if I'm not wrong, like 3 years ago, they said they were going to change the alien registration card to take out alien? I think people had an uproar because it's like, we're not aliens.
Yeah, and when
Yeah.
I give my like when jobs ask me for my card, they ask my 외국인 등록증,
Yeah.
which is my
Foreigner registration
foreigner
card.
registration,
Yeah.
which I get
Yeah.
in administrative sense.
They should just call it like a blue card or something,
But
or a
when
red card
when
or
I go in
something.
the street and I hear people saying like, "Wow, there's so many foreigners," those people have maybe lived in Korea more than your own life.
Yeah,
Like,
it could be.
maybe
Yeah,
because they were,
it's
like 20
interesting.
something, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
You never know people's life stories, so just
exactly. At the same time, I do understand it. It's a Korean culture. I get it. And it's not only Korea. I know in Japan, I know in China, a lot of countries like this. It's more about the people of the country, and minorities are a bit like blurred out.
yeah.
As I said, religious, sexual, or ethnic.
Yeah.
They're all kind of blurred out.
You know what's crazy? This has nothing to do with Korea. Kenya is like the only country that I know that treats foreigners better than their people. Like it's so freaking weird. In Kenya, there's like a really big Indian population, and they treat the Indian
Oh, really?
population better than the Kenyan. Like there's literally apartment buildings in Kenya that if you're not Indian, you can't have a house there. Like they
Okay.
will literally be
So,
like,
they're like upper class.
yeah, they're considered like upper class. Like they're like, if you're not Indian, you can't be in this apartment building. And I'm just like, huh? But this is Kenya's land.
yeah.
Like this is our land. Why can't I be in this apartment building that's on my land? But you would never see that in Korea, where
No.
they're like, only foreigners can live here. No, it's never gonna happen.
It's more the opposite.
Yeah, it's very much the opposite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, like you're a foreigner.
They're like, oh, it's a foreigner. Oh, never. We don't want that. Yeah. Which.
But I
In
think-
retrospect, I guess it makes sense because people want to protect their own. Well, I'm not saying I would do it.
No,
That's
but
not what I'm
when
saying.
you cannot sign a house contract to rent because you're a foreigner.
Like you're literally paying.
Why?
Yeah, you're literally paying. Yeah. But I understand in the perspective of maybe they want to protect their culture, but it's also like, but I'm using my money to pay for this.
Yeah, it's also why in 2023
Yeah.
the birth rate of Korea
Ooh.
is really low, and why the population is going lower and lower. No, but it's because there's no integration. Like you see populations of countries that accept foreigners and integrate foreigners going up, even if it's just like a little bit.
Slightly.
But in Korea, there is not such mix happening, which is fine. Like I'm not against it, but then even the government is now saying like, oh, we have to rethink how we are integrating foreigners,
Yeah.
how we are considering
yeah.
foreigners. If you're married to a Korean, are you considered part of the population or not? If you have kids
Who are
in
half Korean,
Korea,
yeah.
even not half Korean, but if you're both immigrants,
Oh, and your child lives in
and your
Korea.
child
Okay.
is born in Korea and lives in Korea and so on, is the kid considered Korean for like population wise? And they're all rethinking this because they have to, because they have
Yeah.
to, because it is a global country, but this is not matching.
The math is not mathing.
Yeah.
That's what we would say. It's interesting. I think
and it's understandable, but at the same time,
it's like your population is like whoop,
Yeah.
so you might want to do something to make
To
it go
whoop.
whoop.
or even just like, or just like a,
Yeah, or at least stabilize because it's down.
yeah.
I think there's like some part of Korea, like some city in Korea, that there's only like 2 kids in the whole elementary school because there's nobody having kids in
It's
that
the
area.
same thing is happening in Japan, and it's it's
Japan is
slowly
another
happening
place,
to
too.
China too, because of different
Dang.
reasons. But in China,
That
it was
sucks.
because of rules that were like a few decades ago.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Psych, let's take that rule back. We don't want that no
yeah,
more."
but the thing is, for that gap of time,
Yeah.
the population had to decrease slightly. So
No,
it's
you
gonna
couldn't do
impact,
anything. Yeah. But anyways, do you have any last words that you would like to tell the audience?
I love living in Korea,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to live in Korea as long as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that I don't know if I'll live all my life in Korea.
Yeah.
If one day I'm not happy in Korea, I'll have no problem moving away.
Mm-hmm.
If one day I don't get enough financial support for my life,
Mm-hmm.
like if I don't have jobs, if I don't have this kind of thing,
Yeah.
I know I'll move.
Yeah.
I am attached to Korea because it is a country that I enjoy. It's a country I love the food, I like the people. I am happy with my work, but at the same time, I move around.
You're not like attached.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this is in my blood.
Yeah.
My mom moved around. My dad has lived abroad. My cousins are in every single part of the world.
Yeah.
Like we are everywhere. So I'm not attached to Korea in that way, but I am attached to Korea for so many things, and I'm really appreciating Korea. There has been a lot of hard stuff happening. Last year was a bit
Yeah. Yeah.
it got way better, and I'm super happy.
Yeah.
And I think I'm in a really good spot for the new year and
Right.
for season 2.
Whoop whoop. Hey, season 2. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think my experience in Korea has been really positive.
Very positive. Yeah.
Overall, I
Yeah.
had
Because like you wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
no, exactly, and I think nobody
Yeah.
should
Stay
stay
in a-
somewhere where they're not happy.
Yeah.
Not
If you
saying-
can leave,
if you can,
should.
if you can, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying necessarily just like move country, but like if you're in an unhappy job, change job if you
Change
can.
jobs. Yeah.
If you're in an unhappy relationship, change your relationship.
Yeah. Drop that man.
Drop a man, let go, whatever. If you
Yeah.
are with friends that are not supportive,
Drop
they're
that
not
girl
your friends.
or
They're not your
man.
friends.
Yeah, drop it. In 2024, we're dropping bad
Exactly.
energy, guys.
Exactly.
We are
And,
dropping it.
That's always been my mood.
Yeah.
It's like if something doesn't bring happiness to me,
Yeah.
baba.
Yeah. Don't drop me, Alex.
Sometimes it's not.
Did you hear me? Now
She'll-
you're
she'll
just
be-
trying to move on. He's just like, and I'm just like, did you not hear
Season
what
2,
I
bye
said?
bye.
Alex is like, I'm dropping Paris.
Yeah, especially if this is another test drive.
It's not.
I'm cutting it out.
I'm like, is it recording? It's recording. Yeah.
No, but no, I'm happy, but I know that the day I'm not happy anymore,
You're just gonna.
it's bye bye.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel like, or for me, it's also if I get a better opportunity somewhere, that's when I'm gonna
Yeah,
bounce.
too.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it here so far.
For me too.
I mean,
I'm
we
happy.
have those moments that people test you or things test you. That's
child.
yeah, but that's literally every single country in the world.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I'm always tested by something. In Kenya, there's something that annoys me. In America, there's something that annoys me. Anyways, guys, that was today's episode of Korea Unfiltered. I'll switch to this camera because you're right here and you need to
Because
say
I
bye.
am not here.
Yeah, you need to say
Let me
bye.
just-
I can kind of see your hand actually, but anyways, guys, that was it for today's episode of Korea Unfiltered. Don't forget to subscribe down below and also like this video. And if you are an audio listener, don't forget to give us 5 stars. I have been seeing you guys give us 5 stars, so thank you so much for the support. And in the year 2024, I claim that I will get at least, I'm not confident with this statement.
What do you want?
I just got a cramp. God is like, you better shut up. But I'm just gonna leave it at thank you for the support. I've been appreciating you guys a lot, and I will try to make the show even better in season 2. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Alex, for coming on to
Thank
Korea
you for having
Unfiltered.
me again.
Again, you guys will never see the video that he was on before. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.